G. Mantra Stilling. Welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 429, originally aired April 30th, 2010, re-edited and remastered for February 10th, 2020. Hi everyone, I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending some time with me today. Today I'm going to teach you a little tool that I call a scoreboard. And it's a tool that's really effective for dealing with all sorts of issues inside of your body. It's a great way to regulate your system while tapping. Two quick things before we jump into it. One, as a reminder, this is not a replacement for good medical advice. If you are dealing with something with your body, please check with your primary care physician. I'm a huge fan of tapping, but I'm also not a fanatic thinking it is the best and only tool. It is a tool, and it's important that you're making good, thoughtful choices about your health and your body. The second thing, in this audio, I move a little quickly as I'm working through the process. So as you're doing this, if you are tapping along, you're doing the visualization, you're putting yourself present to this tool, I would really encourage you at points, if you need to, hit stop, hit pause, do the step, and then move forward. Finally, if you have not done so already, we have a free 10-part guide on how you can use tapping to eliminate self-sabotage. It's absolutely free. There's audios, there's videos, there's instruction. It can all be found at tappingqa.com. Click on the big blue button. If you happen to be listening to today's podcast in the website, just click on the big blue button in the upper right-hand side, and it will give you an opportunity to get that guide absolutely free. So without further ado, here is how I use scoreboards for my metabolic function and all other systems in my body. Hi, everyone. What I want to teach you today is a quick little technique that I use for myself, and I teach a lot of my clients for anything that is related to a system in the body. It's a really simple way to kind of tune into the system, see what's going on, and then to tap for whatever is going on to move the system back into balance. Now, I use the term balance because some of the functions inside of the body, it's not a matter of it being there or not. For example, I can have a virus in my body or I don't have the virus in my body. For the function in the body, it's different. Something like metabolism. Sometimes our metabolism can be working too slowly, and when our metabolism is working too slowly, it's not digesting the food fast enough, and it's passing through the system before we can use the nutrients that are present. Or the metabolism can be working too fast, where it consumes things in such a fashion, it's either not doing it efficiently, or it's doing it in such a fashion that we're taking on too much of the energy that's there in the food and we're putting it inside of the body. And so in that circumstance, it truly is a sense of balance. And so the way that we deal with this, the little tool I use, is something that I call a scoreboard. And a scoreboard is nothing more than a little mental image that we use that is going to allow us to tune into what the system's doing. What we're doing is we're creating a mechanism that's allowing the subconscious mind to give us very specific information. You already do this already if you're doing any sort of visualization with your tapping. Let's say you have a pain in your knee and you tune into that pain in your knee and you imagine what color that pain might be. What you've done is you've created a specific lens for the body, the system, to give you a piece of information through a specific lens. It's describing the pain as a bright red. And so when we do that, all we're doing is we're taking that information, we're creating it in a way that it becomes useful. So by creating a scoreboard, what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to create it in such fashion that we're going to be able to take the information from the system and have us tell us exactly what's going on. So the first thing that we need to do is we have to install the scoreboard. And so I'm going to teach you how to do that right now. All I want you to do is just close your eyes, take a nice big deep breath. Obviously, if you're driving, you shouldn't be closing your eyes. This is something that you need to be doing in a controlled environment. Take another deep breath for me. And what I want you to do is I want you to tune in and I want you to imagine in your mind a scoreboard that scores between 0 and 100. And it might be numbers that flash. It might be a dial that moves from 0 to 100. It could be a bar graph that grows from 0 to 100. It could be anything at all. Use your imagination. The more detailed and specific the scoreboard is, the easier it is to tune into it. So now that you have the scoreboard image in your mind, what I'd like you to do is I'd just like you to see the scoreboard score a few numbers. We're going through a process of calibration now, just so you get used to doing it. So what I want you to do is I want you to see the scoreboard score the number 23. Now I want you to see the scoreboard score the number 75. See the scoreboard score the number 0. See the scoreboard score the number 100. And see the scoreboard score the number 50. Now again, what we're doing is we're teaching the imagination, we're teaching the system how to use the scoreboard. When I'm installing a scoreboard of some sort, because I have lots of them installed for different things going on inside of my body, the first 2 or 3 times that I do this exercise, I recalibrate the scoreboard to make sure that it still knows how to work. So you might not need to do this after doing this for a week or so, but initially it's a really good idea. So now that we have this scoreboard, it's going to give us between 0 and 100. We need to tie the scoreboard to what's going on in the system. And in this case, we're going to tie it to our metabolism. And so we're going to say for this scoreboard, when the metabolism is working too slowly, when it's not digesting the food and it's passing through without getting the proper nutrients for some reason, then it's going to be a number that's less than 50. And if the metabolism is working too quickly and it's consuming stuff so fast and immediately turning it into energy, then what we're going to do is that's going to score above 50. So the place that we're working towards in the body is we're working towards that place of balance. And so what we do is we just take a nice big deep breath again with your eyes closed, tune into that scoreboard, and just let the system know that this is the system's opportunity to let us know how the metabolism is working, and it's going to use this scoreboard and let it know that any number below 50 is a metabolism that's working too slowly, and any number that's above 50 is a metabolism that's working too fast. And the system knows what that means, and the closer it is to 50, the closer it is to balance. So take a nice big deep breath for me. And what I want you to do is I want you to see the scoreboard score where your metabolism is right now. Now let's, for example, pretend that the number it came up with is 27. So what we would do is the metabolism is working too slow, and we would tap just like this. So do this for me, tap on the side of the hand. Right now my metabolism is working too slow. Side of the eye, there's a part of my system that knows how to get the metabolism working effectively. Eyebrow, but at this moment, it's just not working well enough. Under the eye, and I appreciate all the work the metabolism does for me. Under the nose and all the digestion that happens in my body. And as you tap on the chin and any part of my system that is preventing the metabolism from working effectively, collarbone, any energetic blocks, any beliefs. Side of the hand, I just let those go right now. Collarbone, my system knows how to digest. Top of the head at that perfect rate of balance. Side of the hand, and as I tune into the metabolism, I slowly work it back to that place, that piece of balance. Tap under the eye. Take a nice big deep breath for me. Now what we would do at this point is we would score it again. So close your eyes, deep breath. Now where's the metabolism now? Now, more than likely, this number is going to be larger than 27, and it's going to be closer to 50. Now, if it's 35, we would do another round of tapping. And what we would do is we'd tap and tap and tap until we got it close to 50. Now, it doesn't mean that we're going to get it all the way to 50, but, if we get it close, we know the system's going to be working better. Now, if the first time we did a round of tapping and the number was 72, which is too fast, we do the exact same thing, but we just deal with it where we're tapping for it being too fast. And it'll go like this. Tap on your chin. Right now, my metabolism is working really well. Side of the eye, almost too well. Eyebrow, it's digesting things so quickly. Under the arm, it's not working effectively. Side of the hand, and it's not processing the food in a way that will energize my body. Under the arm, my system knows exactly how to digest food. Under the eye, my system knows where that balance is. Side of the eye, so I give the system permission. Eyebrow, any resource it needs. Under the nose to work its way back to balance. Top of the head because it knows what perfect balance is. Deep breath. And once again, we would do it again. Close your eyes. Deep breath. What does it score now? And again, the number is going to move down from 70 closer to 50. And based on where you are, you determine how many times you're going to do this. Now, this is something that I'd recommend you doing once or twice a day if you're working on metabolism. And you can install multiple scoreboards for anything that you want. You could do it for respiration. If there's some sort of enzyme in the body that you need in your digestive system that you know from working with your primary care physician, you can work on it where you need that to grow. You can use something like this if there is a bacteria that's in the body that you're trying to get rid of. Create a scoreboard. How many of the bacteria are there? And just work it so it goes down. And so what you can do is you can actually create this giant control panel of all of the different parts of your system if you want. And each morning you just take a deep breath, you turn into the control panel, and you just look at the numbers at different places and you can see what's going on. So I hope you find this useful. I have found this a great way to get metabolism under control and be able to do other functions, because all we're doing is we're taking the information and the wisdom of the body, we're giving it a formula and a format to communicate with us, and then we're immediately taking that information and tapping along. As you can see, that's a very, very straightforward process. You can use it for just about anything inside of your body. Like I said, in the audio, I actually have like this whole group of scoreboards inside of my head. So when I'm checking in on my system, I've trained my body to check into lots of them all at once. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. I love hearing from people just like you. I can always be reached directly, Gene, Gene, at tappingqa.com. If you're on the website, just click on the contact button up in the menu. If you happen to be inside of the free Tapping Q&A app, all you need to do is click on contact. You can send me an email or a voice memo from right inside of the app. If you have not done so already, I would encourage you to subscribe to the podcast. In podcasting parlance, subscribe is free. Some platforms, they call it follow. It's all the exact same thing. But wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify, basically everywhere you find audio on your smart device or online, you can find the Tapping Q&A podcast. Make sure you subscribe or follow in that platform so you don't miss any of the episodes as they come out. For the Tapping Q&A podcast, this is Gene Montrestelli. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye. The Tapping Q&A podcast is copyright Gene Montrestelli Tapping Q&A. All views expressed by guests are those of the guests and not necessarily of Gene Montrestelli and Tapping Q&A.